The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Hello, welcome to this podcast. It's Christmas, everyone.
Very, very put on, I think. Very try hard.
At least I'm trying, though.
Hey, try hard. You know what that sounds like?
Die Hard.
Yeah.
We're not doing Die Hard, though. We've covered it.
We are, of course, doing our annual Christmas episode.
And once again, not doing a Christmas film.
We're doing a holiday film. Well, not even a film, actually, is it? A TV special. But yeah,
we've completely lost track.
We've whiffed it.
Well,
it could have been worse, Alan. It could have been much worse because, as always, we ran a poll.
Why do you trust these people?
Maybe I shouldn't admit this to our audience, but Star Wars Holiday Special ran away with it initially. And then I didn't look at the poll for months, and we kind of made all these arrangements to do this one. I watched it, and then I remembered, like, oh yeah, I should go and just, like, call it on the poll. It's officially this one, so people stop voting. I went, and Die Hard 3 was tying with Star Wars Holiday Special. Like, loads of people had come and voted in the months since, and it was a tie. So I cast a tiebreaker vote on behalf of the podcast. Normally the podcast account abstains, but...
Can I ask a question? Die Hard pretends that it's a Christmas film, I understand that.
Yeah.
Does Die Hard 3 even fake it?
No, there's a
not
couple,
set at Christmas.
There's a couple
set
of
summer.
there's a couple of jokey references to Christmas in there, like a little nod and a wink, but
it's not set at Christmas even, is it?
No. Which
is the only basis which Die Hard is.
Yeah, but Die Hard's a Christmas tradition, Alan, and you can only get so much out of the first film.
Well, that's why we need to move on to something else. But have we done Die Hard 2?
Die Hard 3.
Remember?
Yeah, we've done Die Hard 2.
All right. Well, Die Hard 3 is sensible then. But unfortunately, we didn't choose that not Christmas film. We chose this other not Christmas TV special.
Yeah.
It's not a film. It's not for Christmas. Welcome to the Christmas special of this film podcast.
Should we introduce ourselves? Have we done that? I'm Sol, that's Alan. Normally we're joined by Calvin, but...
Yes. Calvin is usually with us for Christmas.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's not. He was assaulted by a reindeer at a winter festival he went
Calvin
to.
Calvin got run
is in
over
hospital
by a reindeer.
Yeah, he's recovering well, though. He sends you his love.
And I'll tell you the real reason, Alan, because I saw him the other day. We were chatting about this.
Oh, yeah?
He's too fucking big for us now. He's off hanging out with fucking David Walliams, chatting about favourite Bond movies.
Oh, yeah, he told me about that, yeah. Hanging out with the Walliams boys.
Yeah. Apparently David Walliams is very unfunny in real life. He doesn't even try.
Well, I can believe that. I've seen his work. Unnecessary shade thrown at David Walliams there. Unfair. Some Little Britain material that's not aged very well.
He got soft cancelled for his kids' books recently, I think, all over Twitter. Cancelled. Well, he had a character in one of his children's books that was called they were called Wong Chu or something, and it was just like it was like a Japanese kid who's good at maths or something, and everyone was going, this isn't our mate. Doing very well off his kids' books, I believe.
The good thing about kids' books is it's like a real book, but not as good, so you don't have to put as much effort in.
Yeah, you can just pump them out.
Really pump them out.
You don't even have to do the drawings. I mean, I don't know if David Walliams does the drawings himself. I'm sure someone cleans them up if he does. I'm sure he kind of doodles
Quentin Blake doing them, hasn't he?
Has he? Well, it looks like Quentin Blake, but I didn't know if it was actually Quentin Blake or...
Okay, let's start.
Let's rewind the clock back to 1977.
Right, yeah.
Star Wars came out, huge hit. Some TV people see dollar signs. Quick, easy cash in. Let's go get the rights to this thing. George Lucas goes, sure. I'm just signing off on anything right now.
$8,000.
You know, he famously $8,000. That's like 8 bags of Coke. I don't know how much is Coke these days, Alan. In the 70s,
it comes in bags. Yeah,
there was obviously a lot of Coke involved in the.
Well, I wish there'd been more because maybe they would have sped the thing up a bit.
Yep. When I say 8 bags of Coke, I do of course mean like like Angelos Epithemiou walks around with like an old Londis bag or whatever. One of those full of coke.
Okay.
I agree, actually. It feels less cocaine-fueled and more psychedelic-fueled, really. But insofar as there's just a lot of sit and watch this relatively mundane circus act for 15 minutes. Jefferson Starship. The Jefferson Starship. Yeah, we got him.
Not any of the other ones.
We got him.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's psychedelic.
They've got
music,
Starship in the name, you see. It makes sense.
I assume that's why they went for them over
The
Grateful Dead or the Carpenters, yeah.
Well, here's my assumption of what happened with the Star Wars Holiday Special. Something was supposed to be happening and it didn't happen. They went, oh, we've got a 2-hour slot we need to fill. What are we going to do? We've got the Star Wars. Let's do the Star Wars. That's popular. And then they went, well, when does it have to go out? In about 4 hours. Can we throw something together?
Yeah, I think that latter bit is true.
I think it's possible this whole thing was improvised live.
Well, look, variety specials like this were all the rage about then, right?
Really?
And 1978...
Because they didn't have Morecambe and Wise, that's the problem.
Well, 1978 was the tail end of that. This was like a holiday, staple, and you got these things all year round, and they were a big... there were TV producers whose entire careers were built on this sort of thing. So I think they saw an opportunity to give what they were doing a bit of a shot in the arm. This is going to be a modern variety special that's going to draw in a huge audience off the back of this film. Now, I do get the impression that it was pulled together very last minute and rushed. I don't think that's because something fell apart. I think it's just, I mean, that's what TV was in the 70s. I don't know about the copy you watched this time round, Alan, but the one I watched had The Incredible Hulk and Wonder Woman will be preempted until next week. And, that's the level of TV we were at. We were painting a guy green. We had a woman running around in a miniskirt with a whip. And we've kind of gone full circle back to that now.
Have you seen The Avengers? Or whatever the other one is?
But... my point is, TV in the 70s, it was
shit.
It was what Tarantino considers to be the golden era of TV, which
so
is
total
not...
shit, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder to what extent this has been removed from the context of the time. I wonder to what extent this was just what a variety special in the 70s was like, but we obviously
no,
would
but
never
the thing is, I
watch
don't know,
this
because
shit.
my idea of a variety show is more like,
a
Bruce
British
Forsyth comes out and he's like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, I've got it there. And then he introduces someone and it's like, oh, look, it's a lovely lady. She's going to do a dance. Someone does a bit of magic.
They don't try and tack a narrative on.
Yeah, exactly. Not trying to build it around something.
I think that is, it's tying it in with Star Wars, and I think it's probably partly down to George Lucas. I wouldn't be surprised if the original plan was, let's have Han come out and say, hey, everyone, we got a great show for you tonight, and blah, 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 blah. And then George Lucas was like, we can't do that, because Star Wars continuity, and he got out his books with all the rules of Star Wars and, the world and everything. I think George Lucas probably exerted enough control to perhaps fuck things up further than they otherwise would have been.
Well, I think he basically, originally they were involved and they were like, okay, yeah, this seems like a solid idea. I want to build it around the Wookiees. I want to expand the Wookiee world a bit. And then, so then they were like, they didn't want to do that. They were like, oh, right, okay, it's got to do this Wookiee stuff, I suppose. And then he was like, oh, I'm busy. You finish that. So they just built something around it.
So they went, let's not put any subtitles on it.
No, I think that's George Lucas. That's how he likes it.
We should add, this is a famously terrible piece of work. This is revered within Star Wars fandom. VHS copies of this thing were passed around, bootleg tapes of it in the 90s. It was the only way to see it because George Lucas famously said he, if he had the resources, probably referring to time rather than money, because I think he does have the money. If he had the resources, he would track down every last copy of it and destroy it, just erase it from existence. Which is weird to think, because I think it probably is only a matter of 2 to 5 years, I think, before this thing is given a full HD remaster and added to Disney Plus. So
yeah. Well, I think you're saying it's It's obviously well known in the Star Wars world of the being terrible. It's considered the worst thing Star Wars has ever done, which is going some way. But also, it's considered one of the worst pieces of television ever, and it's sort of unfavorably compared to, say, genocide. People dying of starvation.
What, you mean Star Wars fans are prone to exaggeration?
No, I'm just saying they would rather people...
Toxic discourse.
Thousands, maybe even millions of people die than have to watch this again. That's how people feel about it. I think that's fair. It certainly is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Well...
Don't you even pretend like you're going to create a defense for this thing.
Well... Chewbacca's kid's called Lumpy. I like that.
Yeah, it's short for Lumpawalla.
He makes a very particular noise that sounds like they recorded the noise once and then looped it like 500 times throughout the special. But he makes a very particular noise that best description I can think of for it is like a dinosaur baby in physical pain. Like, he doesn't sound like a Wookiee. He sounds like he's going... like,
don't kick the baby. Well, Lumpy is in pain a lot of the time, emotional pain. He's very
emotional
worried about
pain,
his father.
You're right, yeah. I liked at the start of this film that they introduce everyone.
Oh, what? They're not afraid of a long intro. That's changed, hasn't it?
Featuring Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, Carrie Fisher, blah, 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 Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, and R2-D2 as himself. So... what's Kenny Baker's agent playing at? I mean, come on.
No, he wasn't.
Or is he
there.
not in it? Is that what
He's
it is?
not
Oh,
in it.
right.
They just used a little remote control R2-D2.
Oh, it's almost like Kenny Baker doesn't need to be involved at all.
It doesn't need an actor in the little bucket. Yeah, maybe that's true.
Yeah, I mean, the real failing of this thing is it's just slow. There's maybe like... I think you could do a solid, kitschy bit of camp fun here, right?
I think you could, if you embrace this, like with today's sensibility.
Well, they are, Alan. They're making. I don't know if you're aware, but they're making a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special for Disney Plus, which I think is going to be released next year.
Oh God, I can. It's just going to be so dripping with irony, though. It won't be.
I know. I'm a bit.
Value whatsoever.
I know. I'm a bit unsure about it. Although I don't know, James Gunn. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see if it's a variety special or if it's just like a half-hour story with the Guardians of the Galaxy meeting Father Christmas. You know,
it's going to be some bullshit. But that's what you could have done here. Like, if you just had, hello everybody, look, it's Carrie Fisher. She's going to do a song. Carrie Fisher starts singing, and then a load of people in Wookiee costumes do a choreographed dance number behind them on stage. Great.
But I think part of the problem is we're combining narrative drama, I guess, with the entertainment wing of the TV company. You know, like it's not something that tends to make for good viewing. You know, the worst part of The Young Ones is, of course, every episode when they go, "Oh, it's 9 Below Zero." And then, you know, well, in that case, 9 Below Zero or fucking Dexy's Midnight Runners or ever come out and go, oh, madness. Ace of Spades, our house. I think you see the same thing happening here. You've kind of got 2 or 3 ideas for like little holiday story segments that maybe could have been something...
well, you say
bad
that.
Rather than appallingly, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the whole Star Wars holiday special is that every single element is bad.
Yeah, it's not like this was a great thing that got ruined in production. It was, you know, the best version of this is probably going to be like 4 out of 10.
The main narrative through line is Chewbacca's family are at home and they're waiting for Chewbacca to come home because they're celebrating Life Day, which is sort of a Thanksgiving type thing. and all the family comes together.
Because Star Wars does this, where it'll have all the things from Earth, but they just have to do like a 1-to-1 translation. So they don't have cigarettes, they have death sticks. They don't drink milk, they drink blue milk. You know, that's the mind of George Lucas right there. That's why this is a universe people want to return to time and time again.
Yeah, so we've got the Chewbacca family. They're waiting for him to come home. He's trapped.
What's Chewbacca's surname? What's that family name?
Bacca.
The Baccas.
His name is Chew Bacca.
Are you sure the family name's not Chew? It's not like... Because that sounds like an Asian name, and I know in a lot of Asian cultures you put the surname first, the first name last. You might be right there. But...
Yeah, let's go with that. So Chewmala is...
So it's the Chew family, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so... But the problem is, he's trying to pop home for, Thanksgiving, but...
Yeah, of course he is.
There's only a bloody Imperial death ship trying to kill him. So he's having to get through, a war to get home.
Hey, look, that's a solid setup for a Life Day movie. If they approached it like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles or something like that, you got a classic holiday. Yeah, exactly. But instead, we see it all from the perspective of
Lumpy
the
gets
kid
left home alone,
sat around killing time, anxiously waiting for his dad to turn up.
Yeah, and then some stormtroopers turns up and he has to hit them with pots of paint. And then he puts marbles on the stairs so that they fall.
And I've got to say, right, to all the people, because Han Solo does turn up around this point and help fight him off. Now, to all the people who are so adamant about how Han shot first, his way of fighting a stormtrooper is he looks at it awkwardly, and then the stormtrooper sort of runs and jumps over the side of the stairs by mistake.
Yeah, the stormtrooper commits suicide. He realizes at that moment that he's in the Star Wars Holiday Special, and he decides to kill himself from shame, which is something Harrison Ford didn't do. Well, we get Bacca Chew and Han in what appears to be some small cupboard with the chairs in it, which is pretending to be the bridge of the Millennium Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like straight away, it's like this, okay, this looks cheap. There's not a lot of effort coming into this from the actors. They're obviously being forced to be there through probably their families have been kidnapped or something.
Yep.
But then basically what we get is 10 minutes of mime because the Chew family don't speak a language that anyone who's watching this can understand. So... I mean, I think it's a ballsy opening, frankly. To open a 2-hour-long special with something so impenetrable and boring.
Yeah.
And I mean,
it's like
this is a sort of Kaufman-esque level of comedy, I think. I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the plot is just basically then padded out with Lumpy. He loads up his little holographic chessboard. Apparently, you can watch circus performers on it as well.
Yeah.
So he watches them for about 15 minutes. And,
so long. Everything. And
they're they're not... If I saw them in person at a circus, I'd probably feel like, yeah, that was adequate.
Yeah. If you had a mate who could do this sort of thing, you go, oh, that's quite cool. But if it was like a professional act, I think, okay, this is pretty basic.
Yeah, those women who love doing like pole dancing as exercise. If you've ever been to one of their warehouses and watched them kind of spin round, that's kind of the level this is at. It's like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. That a little bit of minor acrobatics. That's very well done. But this is you want like the cream of the crop. Surely this is the Star Wars holiday. It's on TV, let alone it's for Star Wars. So yeah, you just kind of watch that. You kind of think like, wow. The Star Wars universe must just be the worst universe to live in. Because like at least in the Star Trek universe, like TV and that still exists. They've just they're too fucking pretentious to watch it anymore. They're like that family at school who didn't have a TV. Just because they only read books. But at least they've got the option there. You want to become some like. At least you've got books in the Star Trek fucking universe. Jesus Christ. You've got a holodeck. Why would you need TV? You've got a holodeck.
But Marla watches the TV. She watches a cooking show.
Exactly. They'll break it out they'll break it out for fucking dog shit, cooking show and pod racing. the two instances I think we ever see like TV used in Star Wars universe.
We do have the guest appearances by all our favourite Star Wars characters, and it's about this time we get Mark Hamill in.
Yeah,
he video calls in. Now, Mark Hamill, I don't want to cast aspersions on his personal life, so let's say definitely he's playing Luke Skywalker here as if Luke Skywalker has just taken a shitload of drugs.
Well,
his eyes are just sort of painted open.
Well, was this after the car crash?
You think he may have been morphined to the eyeballs, basically?
Well, that was genuine question. Was he?
Well, his face seemed in pretty good shape. I mean, it didn't look like he'd been bandaged up or anything.
It did. There was a degree of uncanny valley about it, like it'd been plastered over in something. But that could just be the drugs? I don't know. Maybe it's just glazed over. But the cast are famously off their tits in this production. I mean, I don't know if that's ever been
that you can't cast those sort of aspersions on
confirmed.
Carrie Fisher's lifestyle, please.
I think she's the only one where it is out and out confirmed, isn't it? Wasn't she fucking Harrison Ford in between takes, all drugged up or something? Well, didn't that come out in her book or something? I'm sure it came out.
Certainly on a lot of drugs, yeah.
I'm sure it came out at some point that like one of them was cheating on a partner. I guess, probably Harrison Ford, and they were just like fucking each other in the downtime between takes on one of the productions, which might have been an actual Star Wars movie. But my understanding is there were drugs and sex involved, which would point more towards this. And she also has a considerably glazed over expression.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford doesn't look too glazed over, but I think he's always like that. So we just kind of, do you know what I mean? I don't.
Oh yeah, that's Harrison Ford's style, is to, he's not interested at all, and you can get away with that if the material's good. Anyway,
what happens? Jefferson Starship turn up. 44 minutes in, nothing's happened at this point. Anything before that?
Yeah, there's some stormtroopers turn up at the house.
Really? I thought they turn up at the very end. Do they turn up that early? Wow.
No, they come and start searching the house, don't they? And then Art Carney comes round and helps them out.
Fucking Art Carney.
Okay, answer me this right. There's some really inexplicable things that go on, and one of them is we see Art Carney, right, and he is a trader, and we first see him in his shop. He's trying to flog stuff to some imperialist. He's
got a lovely big open shirt. Very 1970s. I think we forget how 1970s the aesthetic of Star Wars is, because we just kind of think of it like, oh, it's space. That's just like crazy space clothes. No, that's just what people wore in the 70s. It's just flares.
Well, he's dealing with the customer, and the customer, for some reason, the production team have decided that rather than have the person who's there speaking, they're going to have a voiceover doing the lines, and then very judiciously not show the guy's face whenever he's speaking, just so they can get away with that. I can't fathom why that choice would have been made. I just don't know what's going on there. Unless for some reason, like, he got laryngitis, he couldn't speak, but they were contractually obliged to keep him in it. They couldn't do anything about it. And so they just got, someone else off camera doing the lines. So there's all sorts of things like that going on. It's like, we just think, why? How has this happened? What's happening here? Someone's had to organise for this to happen. And I don't know. And then, so Art Carney comes round to the Chew family residence.
Yeah.
He brings them some presents. And he brings the granddad of the family, basically some sort of virtual reality headset wank-off ASMR thing. He sits him in a machine, like a virtual reality headset thing, and he's like, look, this is going to be good. It's filth. You're going to love it. You're going to experience it here in the living room while your daughter and grandson are just milling around. And it's like a woman, and she sings a song eventually, but before that she's like ASMRing him, and he loves it. He's getting right off on it.
Well, it's a variety show, Alan. You got to put something in there for Dad.
Bear Blue.
Look, we got to get some TNA in this thing. I watch a variety show. I don't want to see no space mooks. I want to see some TNA. The kids are here for the furry the fucking monkey thing. The mom, she'll stay for the cooking section. Where's my bit?
Well, Itchy Chew, he loves the look of a human woman.
Hey, can we get my
filthy beast?
I'm gonna call up my old pal Cubby Broccoli, see what advice he's got for this show. Hey Cubby, we're making a Star Wars show. You got any advice for us?
Put a bond.
A Star Wars show? What the fuck is this? Oh wait, there we go. Gotta find the voice. Hey, it's me. It's 1978. I'm still alive.
Yeah, you are. And at your peak of your powers, I say.
Hey, you need a little TNA. That's my advice. Anybody got any coke around here?
We do get a little bit of footage of Darth Vader, which I assume is just a deleted take from the films because it's obviously not been shot by the people who made this. So that's kind of having Darth Vader in it, I suppose.
Yeah.
We do have an animation interlude.
Yeah, probably the best part of the whole thing. I mean, it's still crap. It's still crap. It elevates the proceedings to the standard of your average Saturday morning cartoon circa 1978, which was a very, very, very low standard. In fact, it's maybe a bit better than that, to be honest. I think the animation is probably a bit better than you would have got on a Saturday morning cartoon back then, but it's still crap.
Yeah, and as a story, as a little self-enclosed story, it doesn't really have an ending.
This is a very important moment for Star Wars fandom. Are you aware of this?
Boba Fett?
This was the debut of Boba Fett, the reason why people point to the Star Wars Holiday Special being canon, because it introduces Boba Fett. We'd never seen him before. Now, the reason for this, I think, is because, George Lucas was presumably working on The Empire Strikes Back, and he kind of developed the character already, and they kind of got ahead of things. But still, I mean, it predates that film by 2 years.
Yeah, it's, people like Boba
people like
Fett,
that character, don't they? Yeah, I don't really know why. But you know what I found out? Only this year. You know The Mandalorian?
Not really, no.
Are you aware that there's this very popular Disney Plus show, Star Wars TV show called The Mandalorian?
Yes.
I only found out very recently that The Mandalorian isn't Boba Fett. He's like a totally different guy.
Right.
I just thought it was Boba. I thought it was him, Boba. Oh, Boba.
I don't know what the connection is.
Well, they're all part of the same. The Mandalores. They all wear this armor, and so I think Boba Fett like stole some of the armor and isn't.
So basically, what you're saying is they all look alike to you.
Well, yeah, because they never take the helmet off. That's part of their creed. It was in like season 2 that I realised he wasn't Boba Fett because Boba Fett turns up. And he's like, "Oh, it's Boba Fett," and I was like, "Hang on, I thought he was Boba Fett."
There's a bit of a giveaway in it.
I thought they'd recast Boba Fett, obviously with Pedro Pascal. No, they bring back the original Boba Fett, and he's getting his own show now. Of course he is.
I mean, we're going back to 1978 here, dragging stuff out of Star Wars to try and make more of it. There's nothing new about that, is there?
Yeah, well, when I saw Calvin the other day, we were discussing the state of Star Wars, and he was like, well, they're having such success with all these TV shows, and I corrected him to TV show, and he didn't understand what I was getting at. Oh, well, Clone Wars. Yeah, well, come on, that doesn't count.
Let's be sensible.
That was already a thing. I mean, they're making them, but, we don't know how the Obi-Wan series is going to go down.
So we do have, I think we have another sort of psychedelic dance interlude at some point. It's all.
Is this one Jefferson? Is this Jefferson Starship? Right, we've had them.
I don't know.
Ticked,
there's another
right?
one of them. We have the animation. Oh, and then we have the B. Arthur Cantina.
Well, hang on. No, because before that we have the guy speeding up that Lumpy's trying to fix his toy with, right?
Yeah, Harvey Korman is
Yeah.
So
we've had the cooking bit as well.
We have him. Yeah, it's the same actor. We have him as
I know, but we've had
a chef with 4 arms, which seems to be the only joke involved.
The joke is that about halfway through we find out he has more arms or something.
Yeah,
that is the joke. And other than that, I think it's just like a Blue Peter make. You just kind of fill a bit of time showing the people at home how to make space eggs or whatever he's cooking.
Yeah, blue milk. So then we do have Lumpy. He wants to get his thing working, that he's got a present, and so he watches the instructional video how to set it up, but it's being done by some kind of robot man who has a bit.
The whole joke is he occasionally does this when he's talking.
No, Sol, you did that far too well. I'm afraid you actually sounded like you were slowing down and then sped up again. I'm sorry, you were too good. You failed the audition.
No.
But yeah, Harvey Korman is like he does triple business in this. 3 different characters.
Yeah, because he's the comedy guy there.
Yeah, he's a sketch comedy actor. Like, that's a perfect person to bring in. Oh, what?
The beauty of a sketch comedy guy is you only need one. Yeah. Right? Why are you going to waste money hiring 3 guys when you can get 1 guy to play 3 guys?
Exactly. Yeah.
Diversity? This is 1978, Bubba.
Yeah, just black them up. It's fine.
To be fair, they don't do that in this. They dodged that bullet.
Then we have the Cantina Sequence, which I think is probably my favourite bit, because B. Arthur sings a song.
This is probably the best bit in the thing, actually. More than
sings a song which would be, you know, it sounds like something out of Cabaret. It's to the Cantina Band song tune. I liked it. I mean,
down.
Yeah. Put a better singer on it.
Just one more round, friend, then homeward bound, friend. Don't forget me in your dreams. Just one more song, friend.
Oh yeah, B. Arthur, of course, known for her singing. Well, she has a musical theatre background, doesn't she? But she's very much, you know, I'm going to talk my way through this song.
Yeah.
I mean, they get a protracted comedy sketch out of this with a guy at the bar who's like in love with her and brought her a flower because she said like, "Y'all come back now, you hear?" or whatever at the end of him drinking.
Good night, but not goodbye.
But that's a 30-second sketch.
Yeah, and they get a good like 10 minutes out of it.
A good 10 minutes?
All right, a bad 10 minutes. An excruciating 10 minutes. But one that we'll notice, it feels good because it's like it's the best thing that's happened in this special up until now, and we're like an hour and a half in at least at this point. So it's like a life raft, you know. It's like you're drowning in the ocean and you get thrown a life preserver made out of shit. You'll take it, you know?
But shit that dissolves in the water over time.
Yeah, it's going to dissolve, but it'll give you like 2 minutes of ease. B. Arthur is a terrible, terrible bar manager. She can't do the job. Like, 90% of that job is kicking people out at closing time.
Yeah.
That's a big, important part of the job, you know? So the fact that B. Arthur is just going around going like, come on, you gotta leave the bar. Come on, we go way back, don't we? You'll do me this solid favour. She's like fucking Jack Lemmon in Glengarry Glen Ross trying to get people to leave her bar. And she could just stop serving them and they'll leave, but... Yeah.
No, didn't you see how rowdy they got? They were going to smash up the place.
But her way of handling this is not to kick him out the bar. They haven't got any bouncers either, which seems like it might be a good idea. Her way of dealing with shit is just to sing a song to calm everyone down, get them on side. Just one more round, friend.
Was that Alec Guinness?
I'll drink it down, friend. Doot, 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 doot. It's so shit, but it's a testament to how bad this thing is because it is by far and away the highlight of the whole thing. Just one more round. Boop 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 boop. And I mean, this is the quality of the Star Wars Holiday Special. Like, there are just 15-minute segments of just like a guy coming out going boop 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 boop. But you know, they've painted his face blue or something.
Oh dear, that's not relevant to anything, is it?
None of it's relevant to anything.
But then they wrap up the plot, which is basically Chewbacca manages to get home, and then his wife's like, "Where have you been?" and hits him
with a rolling pin. Yeah.
And then they all forget that they're living under the oppressive boot of the Empire for 20 minutes while they go and have a little ceremony. And Carrie Fisher sings a song about how you should love everybody.
Oh my god. Eyes so glazed over, I could swear she fell into a Krispy Kreme donut conveyor belt line. Don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it, to be honest.
That's the power of cocaine.
There were some parallels to be drawn, I suppose, between the Empire telling us to close the pubs. Eh?
No.
That's a bit like...
no, it's not.
Like the current government, eh?
You've been reading The Guardian again, haven't you, Sol? Look, Sol.
What?
The Star Wars Holiday Special, right?
Wasn't very special, was it?
It was pretty much universally hated by everyone who was involved in making it, everyone who ever saw it, and everyone who's even heard of it in a theoretical capacity.
Yeah.
The only saving grace seems to be some people go, "Oh, that cartoon bit's all right."
Well, also, I think for a while it was like a quite fun, anarchic, counterculture little touchstone for like cool, well, not cool, ultra nerds, but people who got the gag.
I can understand the appeal of this in the sense of being in the 90s.
You're a comic book guy
Wars
from The
fan.
Simpsons. You're going to get your other fat comic book friends over to your weird little VHS dungeon and
yeah. I can get
Taco
that.
Bell and you laugh at it.
And honestly, if you watch this, I can see how you would watch this with some friends and if you were a Star Wars fan and you're going
to talk over it and drink beers,
but also just
be a merry time.
If you'd heard about this, if people had told you some of the things that happen in it, you'd be like, "Oh, that sounds hilarious. It can't possibly be really that bad." And then you would see it. It must be just like, I can't believe this is happening. This has to be a joke, right? And so I can see how that would have great appeal and be very interesting. But what you were saying earlier, Sol, variety was a thing, and they were trying to hook it into something that was popular. But if only this had been better, and we could have seen. Yeah, the holiday variety specials of all sorts of different properties. It would have been amazing.
Oh right, I see what you're
Jaws
saying.
holiday special.
Well, I think they'd missed the boat for Jaws, really, hadn't they? That was not an intended pun, but it was good. I heard it as it came out. No, I mean 1978, 79, 80. What are you talking there? What holiday specials are you going to get?
Well, The Shining.
Ooh, The Shining holiday special.
Already.
Now we're talking. Yeah. Hey, kids. Hey there, Sonny. We're snowed in.
Is Robin Williams in The Shining?
We're snowed in for Christmas. And I can't find the firewood. Blade Runner? When was that? Alien? Ooh, the Alien holiday special. 79. That would have been a nice one.
Yeah. Because then at the end, Alien comes out with a little Santa hat on, and he gives everybody presents. And they're like, "Oh, maybe he's not so bad after all. Let's love everybody, no matter what they look like."
I think the Alien holiday special is they're all sat around carving the turkey, and then the turkey starts to, and then it's only a bloody facehugger, chest burster, bursting out the turkey. And they're like, "Oh, the turkey's ruined." Then they have to get Father Christmas to help them hunt down the alien. And Sigourney gets Mr. Jones a little catnip stocking.
He's not called Mr. Jones.
What's he called?
Just called Jonesy. Hello, Mr. Jones.
That's his name. Jonesy's his nickname.
Mr. Jones is what his father's called.
Hey, and when the robot tries to shove a magazine down her throat to kill her, it's an Argos catalogue.
Okay, that's actually pretty good.
And then maybe she shoots the alien out into space, and they can do something with "Baby, It's Cold Outside" or something.
Yeah, that works perfectly.
Yeah. I'm going to push us forward to 1981. Here's one that actually probably would have happened had this not been a complete failure. The Indiana Jones holiday special.
Of course,
Yeah.
yes. So he has to travel to the Arctic
Christmassy
Circle.
artifact.
Yeah, he has to go to
to find the golds and frankincense and myrrh that were given to baby Jesus.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to say he has to find something to help Santa's sleigh go. Like the magic talisman that makes it fly around the world.
No, he's got to... No, I'll tell you what he goes looking for. It's the holiday special. The best artifact, I think, for an Indiana Jones adventure. The lantern with the oil that burned for 8 nights and 8 days or whatever it is from Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, I don't know the story that well.
Broad strokes, that's the story of Hanukkah, right? They had a little lantern
lamp
with a tiny bit of oil. It was meant to run out, and then it managed to keep burning for like 8 nights, 8 days, and that like kept them alive or something. And that's why they light 8 candles over 8, however many days. Is it 7, 8, whatever it is? But I think Spielberg would go for that. He'd get involved. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm up for that. Celebrate my heritage a bit there."
And so he has to find the magic menorah,
the magic lamp.
Yeah, and then when
he rubs it, out comes
Robin
Williams. Indy.
But it's Robin Williams dressed as Santa, just to mix things up.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas.
Oh, you've been very naughty. Oh, very nice.
And he gives Indy a lump of coal, and then he tells him to check it again, and
it's actually a fossil. It's a fossil of something, so he's interested.
Yeah, it's a fossil. It's an excellent fossil. And then Indy's like, "Oh, it belongs in a museum."